It's an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing when you let your nuts hang.
The federal government telling states not to send out November SNAP benefits. Here's the email I just got from the USDA. So here's the letter that the USDA sent us. You can see it's dated for October 10th. That was last Friday. Why am I now getting it today, Wednesday, the 15th? Well, it's because I did a story on SNAP benefit changes that are coming November 1st. I did that story yesterday. They responded by sharing this memo with us today. Let's take a closer look at it. Let's look at the second paragraph. Considering the operational issues and constraints that exist in automated systems and in the interest of preserving maximum flexibility, we are forced to direct states to hold their November issuance. The federal government telling states not to send out November.
The government has not ended SNAP benefits yet. That is literally a fear-monger tactic. Do not fall for it because it is a tactic used to create mayhem and chaos. And even though things will start getting worse, they have not yet. So please use the resources you have. Check for food banks, check churches and places like that. But don't fall for it. It is a fear-monger tactic.
All right, hey, the Democrats are playing hardball. Telling everybody you won't get SNAP benefits, so that's what they do. It's fear mongering. So now we need to. That'll put basically more pressure on the Republicans to open up the government or come with a healthcare deal, which we need to talk about the healthcare deal in just a second.
Concerns are growing here at home about what the shutdown could mean for SNAP benefits next month. 5 News reporter Lauren Spencer shows us why advocates say the impact could be serious for families across the state.
Everyone who's eligible for October benefits will receive those benefits. November is questionable depending on how long the shutdown goes.
This is in Arkansas.
That's how the Arkansas Department of Human Services describes the outlook for SNAP benefits come November. Right now, more than 222,000 Arkansans rely on the program.
So SNAP becomes a really critical program to ensure that children and families, including seniors, veterans, people with disabilities, have access to critical food assistance to make sure that they're getting nutritious food for all of their meals.
Concerns are growing here at home.
Assistance to make sure that they're getting nutritious food for all of their meals.
Kristen Harper, Policy Director for Arkansas Advocates for Children and Families, says losing SNAP, even for a short time, would be a big deal for a state already struggling with hunger.
Arkansas is actually the most food insecure state in the nation. We have a food insecurity rate at 18.9% compared to 13.5% nationally.
DHS says if funding runs out, they'll encourage people to turn to local food pantries and programs, but advocates warn those resources could quickly be stretched thin.
Going to see food banks potentially become overwhelmed with requests that they can't necessarily meet.
Harper says she's urging Arkansans to reach out to lawmakers to end the shutdown and protect programs that help families afford food and health care.
Many of the families who access SNAP, they have children in those families. Our SNAP program, they have very strict working requirements and things like that. So most people who are accessing SNAP are working.
Covering news where you live, Lauren Spencer, 5 News.
Okay, I'm going to take a second to explain the whole SNAP benefits per state situation. So SNAP is a federal funded program. So because the federal government is shut down, they are no longer putting money into that pool, basically. So they're no longer providing money for SNAP benefits. However, certain states have additional funds for their SNAP benefits. So your state might have more money than other states. My state is Washington State, and the email was from a Washington State government employee, basically saying that Washington does not have additional funds to sustain paying past October. So November, no more money because the federal government is not providing the funds that they usually provide. However, I've heard other states like Florida have additional funds that they put into their SNAP program, so they're able to last a little bit longer. So it kind of depends on which state you're in, if your state has additional funds to be able to sustain paying SNAP benefits longer. But so you'll just have to check and basically just Google SNAP benefits and then your state and something should come up. But I know for sure that Washington State does not have enough money to pay November's or beyond without the money coming from the federal government as the program is designed. So I hope that answers your question, but basically you're just going to have to look into it and see if your state has additional funds to last longer. I know most of them don't, though. It's really sad. It really sucks to see it. And a lot of people are going to be hungry. And the fact that this is happening right before winter, I mean, in the mornings, it's like 30 degrees where I'm at. Like, people need food, people need warmth, and it's really...
Well, I think the states are running out of money because it's at the end of the fiscal year budget. It's not as if they had, so if this budget was, if this shutdown happened 2 months ago, well, they'll still have September and October's funds to use until the budget gets replenished. But in this fact, they only have a couple months, which pretty much September, October's funds left, and nothing extra for November, December, like on and on. That budget will come with the next year's, so they'll have a budget for the full year. Okay, and that's what they mean. Like, I mean, that's why it's not no money left, because they only budget for 12 months. They don't budget for 14 months, just in case of a shutdown.
A hard time.
My kids have not eaten in 5 days. It is the taxpayer's responsibility to take care of my kids.
Trump done cut them food stamps off. If you're poor, don't have kids, okay? If you're struggling, don't have kids. Don't bring more in. If you already have them, that's another situation. If you don't have them, don't bring any in. And if you have two, don't go having another one. If you have one, don't go having two more.
So they say 2 million is getting cut off this month for the scamps. I'm about to go find out if I'm in that number, in that ratio. It's been day 5 and I have not received no food stamps. My disability checks is on hold. My cash benefits is not coming no more. They're still pending. It is the taxpayer's job to pay for my kids to eat and for my kids to be taken care of. I have over 2,000 followers on TikTok and I can't get not one person to send me 50 cents. If you're watching a video and you can't send me nothing, I'm blocking you.
You know, people are out here scrambling, asking, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? What are we going to do? Take your butt to work. Let's get into this video.
Back again, angry, because I just found out that SNAP benefits will not be available. This is federal level. This is a federal level thing. SNAP benefits will not be available starting November of 2025 because of the government shutdown. A notice just went out for Jefferson County. Hang on. A notice just went out for Jefferson County that SNAP benefits will not go out in November due to the government shutdown. And if you apply between October 16th through 31st, right over here, they'll be like essentially suspended. So there's no real way to process your SNAP anything. This isn't just specific to Denver. This is countrywide. And as somebody who was on SNAP benefits for a year, as I was going through my unemployment journey, relied heavily on unemployment and SNAP as a single individual, trying to make ends meet, I cannot imagine what it is like for families right now who desperately need this type of care for them.
She said single individual. That's like saying, never mind.
Nobody in this fucking country should ever go hungry, ever. Nobody, no child, no man, no woman, no non-binary, nobody in this country should ever go hungry. And the fact that the Republicans control everything, every aspect of the government, and we're still in a shutdown is unacceptable. November is when the holidays kick off here in the United States. The most popular ones, whatever. This is so infuriating. This is so fucked up and so frustrating.
I say fuck them kids for Christmas. I ain't getting them nothing, okay? Listen, if I gotta make a choice between buying food and buying presents, I'm choosing food and my bills. I'll turn Muslim for a couple months and we'll move on with life. Fact of the matter is, we shouldn't have to make those choices. with the government the way it is. But I mean, honestly, if you're receiving food stamps and housing and those type of things, you got bigger fish to fry than worrying about Christmas decorations and shit like that. But I understand it is a time for family, but just live within your means at this time, and just save up some money, because I know it might be hard to save money, but just imagine if you put $20 a pay period up. It might not look like much, but it is. And actually, I think if more people, took their finances seriously and didn't go buy a 19% interest car every tax season, I think they should be doing well financially. But unfortunately, they don't, because they go put these high down payments on these high ass cars every tax season and don't put nothing away for maybe a rainy day like this coming up November. I think that's very important for people to start doing. But it's hard to give financial advice to people who don't really want to listen. And that's going towards poor people, not a specific race, gender, or anything, just poor people, okay?